Hello, happy Friday. I'm feeling feisty, so today's video is going to be doing a bit of myth busting, starting with therapy should be a last resort. You should only consider therapy if you hit rock bottom. I feel like I could talk for hours about this, so I'm going to try and keep it brief. But to put it in context, some of the phrases that I tend to hear in clients' first sessions or when they very first get in touch with me is, I'm not sure if my symptoms are bad enough to bother you with. I feel guilty. I feel like a fraud for taking up your time. There must be so many people so much worse off than me. I shouldn't be feeling like this. I shouldn't need therapy. And then that age-old question of how bad do things need to be before I warrant seeing a therapist? First of all, you are 100% worthy and deserving of time and support. So let's get that out there straight away. Second of all, you don't need to wait. Obviously, I'm coming at it from a therapist point of view, from a stance of I believe everyone could benefit from a bit of therapy at some time in their life, at least once. So therapy empowers you by deepening your self-knowledge. You get to learn about yourself. You get to learn about skills and different tools and techniques. You get to find out what presses your buttons and why. It helps you to reconnect with your mind, your body. You get a bit of a crash course in understanding how the human mind works. It gives you knowledge and skills that you're gonna have with you for the rest of your life. Unfortunately, at school, we don't get taught how to use our incredible human minds or how to understand them or why they do some of the weird stuff that they do. We also don't really get taught about what to do with big, difficult emotions when they come along. And therapy can help with all of that. It can also be used to protect your future mental health and well-being. I heard a phrase prehab when I was reading an article about knee injuries in kite surfing, bizarrely. Quite a few years ago I was reading that, but it really stuck with me because they were talking about the things that people could be doing to protect and to build muscle and to strengthen their knees to prevent injury happening, rather than waiting for an injury and then having to have the rehabilitation to repair that injury. And I really liked that term, and actually some of the clients that I have now do use therapy as a kind of prehab for their mental health if they know that they've got something really challenging coming up. For some clients it's about facing the winter months and knowing that they struggle more with particular life stresses or events happening. They'll book in sessions to help them feel more resilient and more ready and prepared to face those challenges. So that is my first myth that I'm busting. You don't need to wait until things hit rock bottom. You don't need to see therapy as a last resort. So myth number 2, therapy is just talking about stuff, isn't it? Or therapy is just talking about the past, doesn't actually do anything. That is poppycock. There are different types of talking therapy. So things like counselling or psychodynamic psychotherapy, where the focus is placed more on talking things through. It can be a great place to, or a great space to safely explore thoughts and feelings and experiences. The type of therapy that I deliver is cognitive behavioural therapy. And actually, cognitive behavioural therapy, or CBT, is a bit of an umbrella term for other therapies that look at thoughts, feelings, and behaviours. So that includes things like acceptance and commitment therapy, mindfulness-based CBT, and compassion-focused therapy too. So those therapies tend to focus on the here and now, making changes in the here and now. Sometimes you'll hear CBTs talked about as doing therapies, not just talking therapies. And I think that's a really key distinguishing factor, that in this type of therapy, you're looking at what's going on in the here and now, the context. So we take a biopsychosocial approach, which means that we look at your biology, things like your physical health, your psychology, so your mental health comes under that, coping strategies, and your social surroundings or environment, the support that you've got available to you, for instance, where you are in the world or in the country. So we kind of look at all of those things and how they are all impacting on how somebody's thinking and feeling, and crucially, the meaning and the appraisal that they're giving to those experiences. So we'll look at what's going on, what's working for you, what's not working for you, and we'll be cultivating some skills and tools and techniques to help you to make some changes to improve things going forwards. So yeah, not just talking is the takeaway message there. Hopefully you got that. And then the last one, number 3, therapy means you're weak. Well, I don't know where to start with this. I'm going to go out there and say, for me, reaching out for help, acknowledging that you need somebody alongside you as you figure some stuff out, that's the opposite of weakness. I think asking for help is one of the strongest things that anybody can do. It's such a sign of strength and courage. Having therapy often means facing painful thoughts and feelings and memories. It means being open to learning about yourself, to learning new skills and tools and techniques. And it means making changes, and that can be really challenging and scary. So quite the opposite of therapy being a sign of weakness. I think it's one of the strongest and best things that we can do for ourselves. Yeah, how can it be weak to... Anyway, before I go on a total rant, if this has been interesting for you, I will be doing a series of... I'm going to put together some case studies, sort of blend together some different client presentations that I've worked with over the years, and I'm going to be sort of presenting some of the different types of struggles that those clients brought to therapy, and running through some of the tools and techniques and the therapy that we did together. So they're made up clients that I'll be talking about, but they're based on all the different clients that I've seen over the last 15 or so years that I've been practicing as a therapist. So I'm going to start that next week. And then another date for the diary, on Monday the 5th of August at 6:30, I'm doing an Instagram live with the menopause medic, so Dr. Finola Newman, and we are going to be talking all about when to reach out for help, at what point, what types of help are available, and how you figure out what's going to be the best step or the best type of support for you. So tune in for that. And I think that's it for today. I was just going to tag a load of things on at the end there, but I've decided against it, so you're safe. I will just wish you a happy weekend, and I will see you next week.